and has meaning. Each moment is meant to be experienced and cherished. Welcome to Anxiety Simplified Podcast. I'm Joanne Williams, and I'm going to share ways to refocus this anxiety energy to a more productive and effective way to go through life. You already have all the tools. I'll just remind you how to use them. We'll be tuning into your own power to choose and find more joy and peace. Let's get started remembering this wisdom. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Joanne Williams, Anxiety Simplified, and nice to be with you for a brand new year. We made it. I feel like we need to say. Oh, today's podcast is going to be around, some ways that we can look at this year maybe a little bit differently, our goals and what we can achieve, maybe a believable and achievable goals that use brain science to be able to achieve them. Instead of just the willpower, there's real true brain science now about motivation and what works. And I'm going to tell you more about it today. And really 5 ways that we can really learn to trick our brain to achieving our goals. So, summary of today's show is going to be why we stop dreaming. Join my new breakthrough, the anxiety, to feel freed up to reach those goals with this brain science that I'll be starting in January. 5 tricks to motivate you towards your goal. And our question today is, what's the one thing you can do that could help? And part of this is excerpts from a Medium article by Darius Foroux. Say yes to your passions and no to everything else. So why do we stop dreaming or don't dream anymore? Or why, does this happen? When is the last time you spent time just imagining, imaging, seeing, creating, thinking about your goal, wants, and dreams? I believe because someone said probably to you, get real, get your head in the game. Stop that daydreaming all the time. Reality. You got to make some money. Maybe there's some truth in that. We really have stopped because it's really avoiding our everyday dull humdrum life that we do daydream by imagining a better life instead of actually creating that dream or working on it. Maybe that's why we have the New Year's tradition at least once a year to dream again. I have a goal too. But usually they end in disappointment. And I'm here to tell you there's a way to get them. I've done it. I know how to show it to you. But I remember imagining I would be a physiotherapist as a kid. I wanted to help people walk again. I thought it was a cool name to say, and thought of helping people really resonated with me. And I do that today as a licensed mental health professional, 30 years. So it must be something in it I like. But do you remember your first occupational dreams, fireman, nurse? These are helping professions. There is something inside us that is calling to get out. When did that voice quiet down for you? Or do you still hear it yelling that you do need to achieve something differently in your life? 2/3 of people were found to not be engaged in their work. Think about that. What if you chose this year to actualize a dream, to feel what success feels like, accomplishing something that really matters to you? If 2020 showed us anything, that life can change in a moment and never be the same again. Take time to think about what's important to you this New Year's. Consider joining my Anxiety Simplified foundational course that will clear out some of the crap between your ears that has stopped you from having more meaningful relationships and joy-filled life, to feel in control of your thoughts and emotions. that do create your future goals, whether you're conscious of it or not. At least be conscious of what you're doing. Listen to the profound Jim Rohn, the late personal development legend. Rohn says something that really left me kind of stunned, and this is from Ayaya Deja Ayasika in his article, Use the 5-Year Rule to Create the Future You Want, a Proven Success for Building Your Dream Life. Rohn believed that whatever it is you want to do to change your life, start a business, build a brand, master a skill, or create an amazing anything, network, you can do it in the span of 5 years. 5 years doesn't seem like a ton of time, I remember thinking. I like to do it in more 1 or 2 years, but he's saying when you look back what the last 5 years have done, I think that gives you the perspective. So in that moment, he thought that 5 years was doable and seemed reasonable to commit to. Where will you be in 5 years? Look back. Where are you now? Whether you are focused on your goals or not. Either way, you will be doing something. Why not focus on what you really want to create and get her done? Let's look at some proven ways to do that. Part of my formal psychological training kicked in when I heard this and really realized how positive reinforcement and repetition create success. These are proven facts which create more positive reinforcement. Success always creates more success. And you love that feeling that success creates with that strong commitment to continue. And then a new belief is created that you can do it, that you can achieve it. And if you've done it once, you can do it again. And I put these elements together. And that is using brain science to motivate us to reach our goals. And I have used this method with thousands of my clients in my counseling private practice. And really kind of unknowingly, my clients, they go on a pathway that inspires them to reach their goals because they have small successes with reinforcement. And this is called experiencing or really feeling that something is worth it and because you get something back. And it's a fun way to achieve goals. And it really is the newest way to create courses. And that's what I'll be doing in my experiential course starting in January. The components will have to start within each one of us and your true life purpose and a burning, burning desire and the meaning of it in your life. That's what brings happiness, excitement, and fulfillment. Half of people were found to be unhappy with their own career. Is that 50% you? Want more? But if you're ready to make some changes, here are 3 things you can start doing today. And 3 questions to ask yourself to get you going, and I call the success zone. Find out what is right for you. Write these down right now. Grab a pen and paper. Stop this for a moment. 3 things you really need to look at. What am I good at? Or what are my strengths? What comes naturally to me? And if you don't know, ask a trusted family or friend that will tell you the truth, not a competitor. But they will tell you, you've got this, you do that well. You'll hear it. Just write it down. How do I learn the best? There's different senses we learn with, visual, auditory. Do you do it quietly, alone, in a team, under stress? How can I focus the easiest? Number 3, what are my values and norms that are critical that I keep? Truth, honesty, justice, whatever. They must match the path you take. Write it down. You may not have looked at these before. So there is an element of time and persistence to make this goal come true. If you use these for 5 years wisely, you can come out the other side of them exactly where you want to be. And here's how to commit to that process. Start with a 90-day sprint. Start with the first 90 days working on your new goal. That's 3 months with reckless abandon. You got to stick with it through the suck. You'll get a sense of what success feels like, looks like, smells like. You can hear it. from other people. But most important, you'll figure out whether or not you actually enjoy the thing that you're working on. If it turns out not to be a good fit, you can quit after 90 days without having wasted much time, but you will have figured out something. I always feel like a direction is better than no direction, and you will learn something from going down that path. Even if it's, I don't enjoy this, and I found out something I do enjoy more of. You can also use the rule of 100. Do something 100 times instead of in 90 days, but do it 100 times to see if you're good at it. Write 100 blogs, 100 videos, a new YouTube channel, record 100 podcasts, pitch 100 potential new clients. Don't focus on making each one perfect. Just do it. Just focus on doing your thing over and over again. And this is a volume game, so just keep doing it. One research study shows that it actually takes 66 days to form a new habit. In my experience, though, the number isn't really that important. You can try to do something 66 days or 6,000 times, but you'll never make a change if you don't have a good reason to. What drives change? Pain or pleasure? At some point, you're going to simply stand up to your current behaviors or situation when enough is enough and I can't take it one day longer. And you need to do something about it and move towards something new. That is away from the pain towards something more pleasurable. Over the years, I found myself in that position many times. The habits I developed that have really helped me, I really want to share here because they are using brain science. And I think there's a component of this that to be believable, there really does need to be something that in our brain, sometimes it helps to just say, oh, yeah, somebody smarter than me figured this out, and then it's got to be good. But one of these things is just do small baby steps, small increments, moving towards something. Actually, I have really found that that is the absolute best way to do anything, because if you take big leaps or jumps, it doesn't stay. It's not sustainable. It's the everyday acts that will create a new habit, a new successful pathway. So, but you got to look at what's behind your goal. Are you moving away from something painful or towards something exciting and passionate that's driving you? But you have to choose and take the time. Either one will work, but take the time to really look at this, either direction, and look at what you used to do in school. Were you a procrastinator, so you had the pressure to get it done, or were you ahead of it, needing to get things done so you didn't feel the pressure, or that was pain to you? You need to know what drives you. How could we possibly get excited about a new life purpose? Darius Foroux in his article say yes to passion and no to everything else is focus. It's focus, not hocus pocus. It's focus. Set 3 daily priorities. One of the best strategies is to focus, because that's what leads to results. It's a thing that will bring you closer to achieving your short or long-term goals than anything else. But how do you focus when you've got days filled with all these endless distractions? And it's by limiting your options. I think putting it in your day planner, just like your exercise routine is in there at 8 to 9 or 7 to 6 or 5 to 4, whatever, 10 to 20, I don't care what it is, but just set a time that you are going to do this thing. Maybe it's each morning. Maybe you get up earlier. Be clear about yourself, what you want. Commit to it. And by completing these 3 or 4 but essential tasks, it will take you closer. You've got to push through the suck. In the beginning, you won't be good at this. You're just like, oh, I can't do this. Trying to learn on something, you're going to have to forge through it. You might just be trying to survive. And this is when most people quit. Don't be one of them. Because one day you won't just be a little bit better off. you will become a lot more successful because you went through this. You've got skills now how to do it. You'll be much better and experienced at it to get more success. You're building a pathway of skills. And this is where your desire for the most or the strongest outcome will overcome the suck factor. What is your desire that you would walk through fire for? Check off your progress every day, every 7 days, and reward yourself with little things each day, or at 30 days, 3 months, 9 months, 18 months. But your rewards will make this more doable. I say every time, even if it's checking off a box, because that isn't a reinforcement. That is something you've done. You're seeing you're making progress. And this is where the brain science kicks in, and it works to get reinforcement. Even for these simple things can hit our dopamine button, which is that pleasure. I feel something good that will propel us. And they're little hits and that will move you towards your goal. Even a gold star. Remember in school, the gold stars, you do it for your kids? I'm telling you, I just feel something crossing out a line. I did it. Really makes me feel good. If that makes you feel accomplished and stay on the right track, then do it. But a reward is a must, just like for your kids or like your paycheck. It's necessary to keep you in the game. And here's a piece of advice from reading Peter Drucker's author of Managing Oneself. He says use an 18-month benchmark to track your overall progress. The length of time is long enough to give you enough data, but not too long to create unrealistic goals. Your goals must be achievable. Don't create something or even a time if you know you're going to get so disappointed if you can't do it in that time. Don't set a time then. But one thing Gary Keller teaches is a simple rule to keep you to stay focused and productive. Ask yourself this question. What's the one thing you can do right now? What's one thing you can do? Such that by doing this, everything else will become easier and necessary. What can you do right now? Doing this will make things easier later. You can use this system to reverse engineer long-term goals into actionable goals and key performance indicators. And you can do these little things, each day, or go backwards and do, the month, the quarter, the month, the day. But checking off these accomplishments on a page or on a chart. See a picture of you going over that finish line. I did it. Oh my God, I did it. I can do this. I know I can. Get a picture in front of you. Get something that will have you have the visceral experience, seeing yourself doing it. This is what the Olympians do. They don't see themselves just running the race. They see them winning the race. See it, feel it, smell it, taste it. That's what creates the brain science to get it done. And is this trial and error at times or time to really submit what works for you to get you into the success zone? But what are you ready for this new year? Write down those 3 questions. What are your strengths? How do I learn? What are my values? Because if you have some old thought patterns, they're going to come up. And are the reason you gave up and aren't finding your niche yet? Maybe it's time to reach out for help, or find an accountability coach, or join my January course that's going to help you clear out the doubts between your ears. That's probably all it is. You probably don't even need to learn new skills, business skills, or whatever, something you're already good at. So I will be starting this course in January with a goal-focused, achievable, believable goals. And it's a step-by-step way with brain science that motivates you with those reinforcements to the finish line of your mission impossible. There is not a better feeling reaching for that goal and feeling you've done it and feeling success. Where have you done it before in your life? Feel what that felt like. See that picture, even if it was just receiving a certificate in 2nd grade. Remember what you felt like when people recognized you? They clapped for you. And maybe you've had much bigger goals in your life. But what is it now that you want, no matter how small, how big? And you can find out more about how to do these things at anxietysimplified.com. I will have the new course out and how to get to it if this is your interest. I really hope to talk to you all at some point in time if I can help in any way. Happy New Year, all for now, and blessings of joy and hope and great things happening for you in this year. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening. Please support our podcast by rating, reviewing, and subscribing. Please, to show your support. And remember to use and practice a skill we shared today to feel the joys of life. Remember, you can always call us 760-485-6784 for that free 10-minute consultation where we can discuss your next step. Or you can go to our website at anxietysimplified.net for more on how to get certified for an emotional support animal today. And remember to share the love.